Now, Greek Finance Minister Yanis Varoufakis, we believe, is meeting his Eurozone colleagues right now in Brussels to spell out a plan to cancel his country's debt. For more on this, let's cross to Peter Oliver. Peter, a lot was expected of this meeting. What do we know?
Well, what we know so far is it does seem that no deal has been struck so far about how to restructure the repayments or, in fact, write off some of Greece's, well, quite crippling debt to its creditors. Now, that isn't the end of the road. Really, Monday is the last day. Monday is the day whereby the 16th of February, where a decision has to be made. We've heard a statement from the Greek government online saying that no agreement could be made solid from what was on the table for negotiations at this extraordinary meeting of finance ministers. Of course, the rather charismatic Greek Finance Minister Yanis Varoufakis has been making his presence very much felt. The much revered economist and intellectual. He's been apparently going through statement after statement, crossing out any reference that's been made to the Troika. Well, the Troika, of course, are those main creditors made up of the European Central Bank, the European Union and the International Monetary Fund. Now, as it stands, no agreement made so far, but there are options should Monday's deadline come and go without a decision then. Greece could turn to outside sources for financing. There could potentially be China. We've heard that the Greek Prime Minister has been invited to Beijing. Or it could be Russia. Now, on Wednesday, we saw the Greek Foreign Minister meeting with his compatriot, with the Foreign Minister of Russia in Moscow. What's come out of that meeting is Russia has said that should Greece come to them and say, yes, we need funding, then that could be an option that could be discussed. What we are seeing, though, is a lot of decisions being made, a lot of decisions being trying to hammer out some kind of solution to this debt. We're talking about a bailout of well over 200 billion euros, but it all looks like it's going to come down to Monday, and there's going to have to be some decision made. If Greece can't come to an agreement with the Eurozone countries, well, it could see Greece leaving the single currency, and that would throw the whole single currency union into a real scene of disarray.
So whatever the outcome, far-reaching consequences either way. Peter Oliver in Berlin, thank you for that. Several thousand protesters have gathered in front of Greece's parliament in Athens to back government demands that Europe renegotiate its financial bailout. The protest took place as the new Greek government presented its proposals to sceptical European finance ministers at an emergency Eurozone meeting in Brussels. Demonstrators there waved flags and chanted in support of the finance minister Yanis Varoufakis. Those protests appeared to have inspired hundreds of Italians who rallied outside the German embassy in Rome to support the Greek cause. Demonstrators held up placards with anti-EU slogans and calling for EU authorities to change its austerity programmes. Similar protests were also held in the capitals of Portugal and Ireland. Paul Scott.